Hello and welcome to this video looking at solving a set of linear inequalities using a graphical method. This is part of a series on coordinate geometry and it's designed as part of the OCR Additional Maths course, although this particular skill is also relevant for GCSE Maths. Okay, so we have four inequalities here and we're asked to shade a region that is not represented by these. So I'm actually going to start with the bottom and work up just because the bottom two inequalities are much easier to deal with. So x is greater than or equal to 0. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in the line x equals 0, otherwise known as the y-axis. Let's just pretend that's completely straight. And we're looking at the values where x is greater than 0, so greater than this value. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scribble out everything below 0 because that's not the region we're interested in. And it does tell us in the question, shade the region not represented by these linear inequalities. So not interested in that bit, and I've dealt with that inequality. Now if you have an inequality which is not got the or equal to bit attached, then we do the same thing, but we just use a dashed line rather than a solid line. But when this is applied to linear programming, we almost always have the or equal to involved. Okay, so the next bit, y equals 0, is otherwise known as the x-axis. So again, let's just pretend that's straight. And again, we're looking at values greater than that, so let's just cross all this out. That's below. So we've dealt with that inequality. Okay, next one. So, I mean, you can do this by drawing out a whole table of values with x and y and find those coordinates and plot the points. But actually, it's usually a lot easier if we just consider what happens if x is 0 and we consider what happens when y is 0. So if x is 0, then I get 3 lots of 0 plus y is greater than or equal to 12, I get y is 12. So 0, 12 lies on this line. And what happens if I make y 0? Then I get 3x is greater than or equal to 12, which gives me x is greater than or equal to 4. So I get 4, 0. So let's mark that one as well. And then we want a straight line that connects those. Let's just pretend that this is a nice straight line. Not quite, but there, never mind. And we're interested in what's greater than or equal to that. So I'm looking above the line. So therefore, I'm going to scribble out everything below the line. Not interested in that. That's dealt with. And then the last one, I'm going to go through this similar method. So I'm going to consider what happens when x is 0 and what happens when y is 0. So if x is 0, I get 3y is less than or equal to 30, so I get y is 10. And if y is 0, I'm going to get x is 6. So I can look at these 2 points. So 0, 10, 6, 0. And this time I'm told it's less than that, so I've got to look below the line. So let's scribble all that out. And I can see that this region here, so just going over in more detail, put an R in it for region, that is the region that satisfies all these inequalities because it's the right side of every one of the lines that I've got involved. Okay, so I don't have any questions to project on this video, but if you use the Maths Genie website, there is a whole series of questions that you can use to practice in their GCSE revision section.